Greetings and welcome to the Sleep Science Top 1. This evening, we embark on a journey into one of the most peculiar and captivating enigmas of all time, the enigma of perception. It is the subtle power that molds the world long before you realize its presence. The delicate artist who imbues each sound, each sight, and every ephemeral feeling with vibrancy. Perception exists in the realm that bridges the external world and the internal mind, shaping all that you have ever experienced. It transforms vibrations into melodies and patterns into narratives, while the gentle caress of air becomes an experience. It possesses an essence that is both recognizable and profoundly otherworldly. An unseen creator captures the essence of the world you perceive as your own. If these serene journeys resonate with you, consider liking, subscribing, or sharing your thoughts below. It guides others to discover their path here as well, one weary spirit at a time. For the moment, the only thing required is to unwind. As the breathing slows and the body softens, the mind finds its way into a state of stillness. Let us commence. Your mind gently reshapes the world around you, long before you even notice the change. Long before anything captures your attention, vast quantities of incoming sensations are subtly filtered, muted, or accentuated. Signals emanating from your eyes, ears, skin, and the depths of your body vie for attention, yet the majority remain unnoticed, never breaking through to awareness. The mind discards what feels routine or insignificant, while it softly enhances what seems fresh, impactful, or pertinent to your desires. A familiar room transforms into a mere setting, shedding its complexity of edges and colors. The background sounds meld into a singular hush rather than a cacophony of distinct noises. Even the rhythm of your heartbeat and the cadence of your breath fade into quietude unless something beckons them back into awareness. What seems to be an unfiltered, direct experience is in fact a carefully curated account of occurrences, influenced by underlying motives that were not consciously selected by you. One seldom perceives the authentic essence. Instead, one encounters the refined experience meticulously crafted by the nervous system. What you feel as reality is mostly your brain, softly predicting and gently filling in what comes next. To maintain a sense of fluidity and coherence, the mind perpetually anticipates what is to come, bridging gaps even before the complete information is presented. As one reads a sentence, the next word becomes apparent from merely the initial letters. As one listens, there is a tendency to foresee the conclusion of their words before they arrive at it. Visual scenes operate in a comparable manner. Once the mind recognizes a space as having a wall, a table, and a lamp, it ceases to construct each scene anew. Rather, it refines an ongoing model, making only subtle adjustments. This conserves energy and enables rapid responses. However, it also implies that you primarily encounter your own anticipations. Illusions that depend on deceptive cues demonstrate the remarkable way the mind adheres to its expectations, holding on to them even when the unfiltered image suggests an entirely different narrative. The eyes convey significantly less information than one might assume based on the mind's perceptions. Every glance cast across a room does not involve a meticulous examination of every surface. It resembles a selection of several key aspects. The most detailed section of your vision encompasses merely a small area at the center, whereas the surrounding regions offer a less distinct perception of forms and motion. The nerve fibers that transmit signals from the eye are few in number, necessitating that the retina compress and summarize information before relaying it onward. Preferred are the lines, edges, and transformations that unfold over time, while uniform areas are distilled into basic approximations. Nevertheless, the world reveals itself in intricate detail, no matter where one gazes. The feeling of completeness arises as the mind skillfully weaves together numerous fleeting impressions into a cohesive narrative, subsequently enriching it with recollections and anticipations to fill in the gaps. One feels as though the entirety of the scene is laid bare before them, yet only a small portion ever comes into sharp focus within their awareness. The little blind spot in your vision, your mind fills it so lovingly with pure imagination and gentle guesses. At the back of each eye, where the optic nerve exits, lies a small region devoid of light-sensitive cells. Any image that touches that area leaves behind no trace whatsoever. One might envision this as a black hole drifting within their sight, yet what unfolds is an absence of the extraordinary, for the mind effectively masks the void entirely. Nearby colors, textures, and patterns flow seamlessly across the void, as though an unseen artist has gently filled in the gaps of the scene. Unassuming displays, where a small object disappears upon passing through a specific point, suggest that an unusual phenomenon is at play. Yet, in the course of daily existence, the process appears entirely instinctive. This subtle restoration suggests the brain's readiness to generate content when the situation calls for it. The perception of reality is not merely accepted, it is actively reconstructed to conceal its flaws. One is perpetually residing a fraction of a moment behind, as the act of perception requires its own measure of time. Each sound that reaches your ears, every light that catches your eye, and every touch that brushes your skin has journeyed through nerves, been interpreted by networks, and intricately combined into a singular experience. Every one of those steps takes away valuable fractions of a second. Instead of presenting events as isolated, disjointed pieces, the brain takes a moment to gather information within a short time frame, ultimately delivering it as a cohesive present experience. Signals from your eyes and ears, traveling at varying speeds, are calibrated to create a sense of synchronization. Motion is refined, ensuring that moving objects glide seamlessly without any jarring interruptions. This clever timing trick reveals that the present you encounter is, in fact, a reflection of the recent past, encapsulating what has just transpired. The actual universe has subtly progressed by the moment you become conscious of it, yet the lag is so uniform and meticulously orchestrated that you perceive yourself as completely current. The perception of self that one holds might be seen as a form of orchestrated illusion. Deep within the mind, countless signals about the body, memories, goals, and social world converge into a singular character that embodies the essence of self. The character appears steadfast and consistent, yet it possesses the ability to change in nuanced ways from one moment to the next. Shifts in mood, posture, or context can transform the perception of one's size in a room, influence the level of confidence or uncertainty experienced, and even affect the sense of connection to one's own body. Some experiences reveal the delicate nature of this structure. When senses are disturbed or conflicting information is presented, individuals occasionally experience a sensation of having floated outside their body, or as though their hands belong to another person. The narrative that declares existence, identity, and visibility is woven together by continuous processes that persist endlessly. The self appears to be a straightforward truth, yet it could very well be yet another narrative, crafted by your mind to comprehend all that it experiences. What you really see is shaped much more by the gentle storytelling of your brain than by your eyes alone. The eyes serve as complex lenses and sensors, capturing the shifting patterns of light. The patterns hold no significance until they are deciphered by the areas located at the rear of the head. In that realm, currents of energy reshape boundaries into forms, forms into entities, and entities into significant narratives. When certain elements of this system are interrupted, an individual might possess perfectly healthy eyes, yet struggle to identify faces, or perceive movement as a series of still images. On the other hand, when these regions are stimulated directly, individuals describe experiencing bursts of color or basic shapes, even in total darkness. Certain visual prostheses strive to circumvent impaired tissue, transmitting simplified patterns directly to the brain, generating points of light that can ultimately be pieced together into meaningful images. This illustrates that the vibrant realm of color, depth, and motion you perceive is meticulously constructed within your mind, with light serving merely as the initial component. The process of hearing is influenced in part by the assumptions made by the brain. In a noisy room, when someone speaks, the sound that reaches your ears becomes a chaotic blend, interspersed with echoes and overlapping voices. Yet familiar words and tones are effortlessly picked out by you. The nervous system does not merely capture vibrations. It engages in an active quest for patterns that resonate with recognized language and familiar voices. When segments of a sentence are obscured by a sudden noise, listeners frequently claim to perceive a full phrase, as though the absent part had always been there. The mind seems to weave the anticipated sounds into the void, seamlessly blending them into the rhythm of conversation. Music exhibits a comparable influence. Once a melody is known, the inner perception of it persists even in the absence of external sound, allowing one to still experience each note arriving precisely when it should. What appears to be a simple act of hearing is, in fact, a partnership between the sounds from the outside world and an internal framework of what those sounds should be like. The experience of touch transforms into a narrative that the mind constructs from fragmented signals. Within the layers of your skin, a variety of receptors react to sensations, such as pressure, stretch, vibration, temperature, and chemical alterations. Every type transmits its unique flow of information through distinct channels. The impulses come at varying moments and strengths, yet they intertwine to create a unified feeling, reminiscent of a soft caress, a sudden jab, or the heaviness of a hand at rest. The significance of context cannot be overstated. A gentle touch can evoke warmth when it originates from someone familiar, but it can also trigger unease when it catches one off guard. The same force presents itself in varied ways, influenced by one's state of readiness or ease. The form of an object resting in your hand is not perceived in its entirety at once. Rather than focusing on singular aspects, minute details from various points on your skin come together to form a unified picture, akin to piecing together a sculpture from dispersed fragments. What one perceives as a simple touch unfolds as a rich narrative, crafted moment by moment from numerous small voices within the body. The sense of balance unfolds as a subtle symphony of movement, seamless and anticipatory. Concealed within the depths of your ears lie minuscule canals brimming with fluid, adorned with fragile hair cells that sway in response to the slightest movement of your head. Nearby structures house small crystals that engage with sensors, responding to the pull of gravity. Signals from these organs intertwine with data from muscles and joints that convey the positioning of your limbs, alongside visual cues regarding the horizon and the surrounding environment. United, they evoke an unending sense of elevation, descent, and movement. When these systems fall out of sync, as occurs in spinning rides or during sea travel, the harmony breaks down, leading to feelings of dizziness or nausea. In environments where gravity is diminished or non-existent, like during orbital flight, the brain is required to adjust and acquire a fresh sense of orientation. Though often overlooked when functioning seamlessly, this unseen network diligently supports you, directing each step and gentle shift as you navigate through life. All the beautiful colors you love, they only truly bloom inside the quiet imagination of your own mind. While it may seem like a characteristic of the external environment, the perception of color originates simply from various forms of light entering the eyes. The wavelengths, in their essence, possess no color. They exist as pure energy in motion. Within the retina, specialized cells react to these fluctuations and transmit complex patterns of signals to the brain. The signals intertwine with memories, expectations, and context, crafting an experience that resonates with vividness and authenticity. A solitary hue can transform significantly based on the ambient light or the items positioned alongside it. In certain circumstances, a patch of grey takes on a vibrant blue hue, or a warm tone unexpectedly shifts to a cool one. These transformations unveil the depth of interpretation occurring behind the scenes. The narrative unfolds through the nervous system, adapting continuously to assist in perceiving contrast, form, and significance. Without the mind interpreting these signals, the colors of red, green, and the soft golden hues of sunset would not exist. Only quiet shifts of energy poised for metamorphosis into something exquisite. Time can stretch out softly or slip away quietly, depending on how deeply your heart is wrapped up in the moment. The flow of time is not dictated by a rigid inner clock, ticking away at a constant pace. Rather, it is shaped by varying degrees of focus, feeling, and astonishment. When one is deeply absorbed in something engaging, minutes can slide past almost unnoticed. However, in the moments leading up to an awaited occasion, time seems to stretch, making each second feel remarkably prolonged. Novel experiences often appear more expansive as the mind collects a wealth of details, crafting richer memories that lend a sense of length to the interval when reflecting back. In moments of terror, individuals often describe the experience as if time stretched, each second lingering longer than usual. This occurs as the brain collects information more rapidly, causing the event to seem richer in experience. On the other hand, repetitive tasks can condense lengthy hours into what seems like a fleeting moment. The perception of time within the mind unfolds like a malleable terrain. Awareness moves effortlessly throughout, influencing the duration of each experience based on the depth of your attention and the intensity of the emotions that tint the moment. The movement you observe is, in part, a creation designed to give the world a sense of stability. Whenever an object moves within one's line of sight, the eyes swiftly adapt to follow its location. The movements unfold with a swift and regular rhythm, seamlessly blending without any abrupt interruptions. Rather, the brain transforms the sequence into a seamless stream. The motion generated by one's own eye movements during the scanning of a scene fades from consciousness, allowing the world to seem motionless. As frames of visual information arrive out of sequence, the mind compensates by predicting positions, crafting the illusion of objects moving at a steady pace. Certain visual displays leverage this tendency by presenting static images in meticulously timed sequences that evoke the sensation of animation. The fluidity perceived does not truly represent the unrefined input. Rather, it is a crafted narrative intended to assist in navigating the environment with clarity. Motion is seldom witnessed in its immediate physical form. One observes movement as the mind envisions it ought to develop. With each recollection, a memory transforms. Memories might seem like frozen images of past times, but they are dynamic entities that change with each recollection. As one recalls an event, the memory takes on a fluid quality, allowing for reinterpretation and reshaping. It intertwines with current reflections, feelings, and understandings before being preserved once more in a subtly transformed manner. Small changes can build up over time, quietly altering the narrative you hold about previous experiences. Individuals frequently develop a sense of certainty about events that never took place, or misremember the timing of their experiences, often without awareness of their inaccuracies. Emotions play a significant role in determining which aspects of memory are highlighted and which are diminished. A joyful moment may evolve into something even more heartwarming as time passes, while a stressful one might reveal insights that were initially obscured. This ongoing process of revision allows the mind to maintain the significance of memories, yet it also indicates that recalling them is far from a straightforward act of retrieval. It is a process of reimagining, informed equally by present understanding and past events. The mind selects what holds significance well ahead of any conscious choice you might make. As one navigates through the world, a myriad of sights, sounds, and sensations continuously envelops the senses at every moment. Before any of these hold significance, Deeper areas of the brain swiftly categorize them, amplifying what seems crucial and diminishing what appears unimportant. This selection process unfolds with an automatic precision, occurring at a pace that surpasses the realm of conscious thought. A sudden movement in the corner of one's eye can capture attention even before comprehension sets in. A recognizable voice cutting through the ambient clamor can capture attention as other noises diminish into the background. This filtering enables a quick response and shields your mind from being inundated by the vast amount of incoming information. As one reflects on the act of noticing, it becomes clear that the decision is often influenced by a complex web of experiences, emotions, and instincts that have quietly shaped the mind long before the conscious choice is made. Awareness emerges as the culmination of a lengthy sequence of unspoken choices that effortlessly direct your focus. The world, at any given moment, is only partially captured by attention. Even when immersed in a richly detailed environment, the conscious capacity to absorb information remains surprisingly limited. The focus acts as a concentrated beam of light, casting brightness on a specific area, while allowing the rest to remain gently obscured in shadow. As this beam settles upon a particular object or concept, all other information gradually slips from consciousness, despite its presence in your line of sight. Individuals immersed in their work frequently overlook significant alterations occurring in their surroundings, a phenomenon highlighted by experiments in which unforeseen occurrences go unnoticed as they unfold within the scene. This restricted focus is not a deficiency, but rather a method for the mind to direct its energies to the areas where they can be most effective. Attention determines what will be examined in depth and what will be managed by rapid, instinctive mechanisms. All that lies beyond that narrow beam of light persists, yet merely a tiny portion penetrates the realm of awareness. The senses frequently vie for supremacy, each striving to take precedence over the others. In a scenario where sight, sound, and touch present differing interpretations of the same event, the brain faces the challenge of deciding which sense to rely upon. Frequently, the power of vision prevails, as it provides intricate details regarding form and motion. There are instances when sound takes precedence over sight, or when the sense of touch clarifies deceptive visual signals. This competition ensures a consistent perception of reality, as an equal reliance on all senses could lead to confusion when they are at odds with one another. At times, the senses intertwine their signals, creating completely fresh experiences, like perceiving a subtly modified sound after observing the movement of someone's lips in a particular manner. At times, a single sense serves as the ultimate arbiter, shaping how one perceives the unfolding event. This evolving structure illustrates that understanding is not merely an aggregation of its components. The narrative unfolds as a negotiation, where each sense plays a role in providing evidence for a nuanced internal deliberation regarding the most probable version of reality. The sense of smell holds a unique emotional potency, surpassing all other senses you possess. A subtle fragrance has the power to awaken memories that have lain untouched for years. This power emerges from the direct connection of olfactory pathways to brain regions linked to emotion and memory, bypassing numerous layers of processing. Consequently, scents have the power to conjure vivid images and emotions with remarkable swiftness and intensity. The scent of damp earth following a rain shower can evoke memories of carefree childhood afternoons, while a hint of perfume may summon the essence of someone long absent from your life. In contrast to vision or hearing, which emphasize intricate spatial details, smell encapsulates the chemical essence of the surroundings and connects it to personal experience. Creatures depend on it significantly to maneuver through their social realms, while humans maintain an inherent awareness of its impact, even if they do not always recognize its presence. A single breath has the power to alter your mood, enhance your awareness, or take you back to a moment long past. Your gaze is perpetually in motion, even in moments when you believe it remains fixed. In every moment of wakefulness, subtle shifts in gaze unfold ceaselessly. These movements are subtle and swift, often going unnoticed, yet they play a crucial role in keeping the world from slipping away. Should the gaze remain unwavering on a solitary scene, the image would gradually fade away as the receptors in the retina adjusted to the constant pattern. The delicate movements and quivers invigorate the visual landscape, guaranteeing that boundaries, surfaces, and distinctions stay vibrant. As one reads, the eyes dart swiftly over the text, lingering just long enough to capture the crucial details before moving on once more. These motions enable the brain to juxtapose various elements of a scene, fostering a unified comprehension of shape and depth. What appears to be a steady gaze is, in reality, a sophisticated interplay of ongoing adjustments that enables clear vision. One relies on a multitude of senses beyond the well-known five. The presence of sight, sound, scent, flavor, and texture. The body employs a diverse range of specialized systems to make sense of the world around it. One can perceive the placement of their limbs, even amidst total darkness, through intricate networks that monitor the tension in muscles and the movement in joints. The pull of gravity and rotation is monitored through delicate structures in the inner ear. One can sense temperature, pain, and internal conditions like hunger, heartbeat, and breath. The extra senses contribute to an ongoing stream of information that underpins various activities, from walking to the understanding of emotions. In their absence, the world would seem empty and bewildering. Researchers persist in revealing increasingly nuanced aspects of perception, such as the capacity to sense variations in atmospheric pressure or to detect subtle magnetic influences. The expanse of your sensory realm is far more vibrant and complex than what the conventional list implies. Dreams unveil a perspective of the world crafted solely from the depths of one's imagination. As one drifts into slumber, the mind transitions into a realm where the familiar flow of sensory input ceases, yet it persists in conjuring a vibrant world brimming with scenery, sounds, motion, and feelings. All of these elements originate from within. They emerge from the remnants of memory, instinctual patterns, and sudden flashes of neural activity that the brain organizes into vivid scenes, perceived as reality. An individual impression can evolve into a complete narrative as nuanced emotional currents influence the atmosphere of all that transpires. Recognizable figures emerge in unexpected settings, and surreal occurrences seem ordinary, as the mind is free from the burden of comparing them to the constraints of the physical world. The narrative unfolds, illustrating how seamlessly the mind weaves a reality when liberated from outside limitations. It is demonstrated that perception exists independently of light, sound, or touch. It demands merely the skill to interpret internal cues, crafting a fleeting reality that can resonate with the same depth and authenticity as the world we experience while awake. The perception of what you see can be influenced by sound. The visual system collaborates intricately with the auditory system, with both continuously sharing information to maintain a coherent experience. A sound that coincides perfectly with a visual alteration can alter your perception of what you witnessed, despite the image remaining unchanged. A brief sound can create the illusion of a single flash, manifesting as two. A sudden tone can amplify a small movement, making it seem more significant. Films and animation depend on this collaboration, employing precisely timed audio to enhance the impact of straightforward visual actions, making them appear more dramatic or lifelike. In everyday existence, sound assists the mind in assessing distance, direction, texture, and timing. When these cues are out of sync, the brain endeavors to resolve the discord, frequently favoring the sense that appears to provide the most insight at that time. This fusion results in a seamless experience, yet it also renders perception remarkably susceptible to influence. A subtle sound has the power to alter your perception of what you thought you witnessed, often without your conscious realization. The perception of sight can profoundly alter one's interpretation of sound. Listening transcends the mere arrival of sound waves at the ears. It is profoundly shaped by your visual observations. As one observes a person speaking, the mind seamlessly combines the motion of their lips with the auditory elements of their voice, creating a unified experience. When the visual pattern diverges from the auditory pattern, the mind may adjust its perception of sound to reconcile the discrepancy. This phenomenon allows identical sounds to take on distinct qualities based on the speaker's movements. In bustling settings, observing a person's lips can aid in grasping their words, even when their voice is almost lost amidst the noise. Music performances resonate more deeply as the origin of each note becomes visible. This close connection illustrates the extent to which hearing is influenced by its surroundings. The mind seeks to forge a cohesive understanding, instead of allowing two distinct paths to diverge. And in moments of discord, perception frequently steers the ultimate outcome. The perception of one's own body can be transformed with unexpected simplicity. Even though the body feels steady and known, the perception of it is shaped by a multitude of information sources. Signals from muscles, skin, joints, and inner organs continuously weave together a map of one's location and posture. However, this map can change significantly when the brain encounters contradictory signals. When a hand moves in perfect synchrony with your own, a sensation may arise, leading you to feel as if that hand belongs to you, despite the knowledge that it does not. As one's posture shifts over time, the transformation may go unnoticed until the reflection in a mirror reveals the truth. Even clothing and tools can seamlessly blend into your sense of space, transforming into natural extensions of your body. This adaptability aids in navigating the world with efficiency, revealing that bodily awareness is more flexible and constructed than it seems. Individuals occasionally experience feelings in extremities that are no longer there. Following the loss of a limb, numerous individuals still experience sensations of warmth, pressure, movement, or even pain emanating from the area that is no longer there. These experiences emerge as the brain continues to hold a representation of the body that encompasses the missing limb. The regions of the brain that previously processed signals from that limb continue to be engaged, capable of being activated by adjacent areas, internal rhythms, or emotional conditions. When one touches the skin close to the missing limb, sensations may arise that appear to come from the part of the body that is no longer there. With the passage of time, the brain has the capacity to reshape this map. Yet, the old patterns linger, never fully disappearing. These sensations reveal that perception exists independently of physical structure. The connection lies in the patterns anticipated by the brain and the pathways it has become accustomed to navigating. The sensation of a limb persists, as the narrative surrounding that limb remains in progress. The mind possesses the remarkable ability to create vibrant sensory experiences, independently of external stimuli. In the depths of darkness, individuals occasionally perceive silhouettes or flashes of color. In profound stillness, subtle sounds or whispers might weave their way into consciousness. These experiences arise as the sensory regions of the brain continue to engage. Even in the absence of external stimuli, spontaneous patterns emerge, mirroring authentic perception. When imagination or memory activates these networks, the ensuing experience can seem nearly identical to genuine sight or sound. Focusing intently on a conceived object can create the sensation that it possesses texture, temperature, or weight. The absence of sensory input heightens these effects by eliminating conflicting signals. The mind remains vibrant even when the world around it quiets down. It transforms into a more imaginative narrative, enriching the emptiness with self-generated insights that uncover the extent to which perception is constructed within the nervous system, rather than received from the external world. One often perceives faces in places where none are present. The human brain possesses a remarkable ability to identify faces, as the swift recognition of others is essential for effective communication and ensuring safety. This tuning is remarkably potent, capable of evoking the semblance of eyes, a nose, and a mouth from even the most random patterns. Clouds, shadows, tree bark, or the arrangement of windows on a building can unexpectedly embody a human-like quality. This inclination emerges in childhood and continues into adulthood. The brain allocates specific regions for facial recognition, and these regions continue to engage even when the pattern bears only a faint resemblance to an actual face. While this may result in some inaccuracies, it also enables the immediate identification of genuine faces in bustling settings. The phenomenon illustrates the mind's relentless desire to create structure from disorderly forms. One is inherently inclined to seek significance in patterns, with faces serving as some of the most compelling draws for focus. The essence of taste is largely a disguise of smell. The enjoyment of food arises from a harmonious interplay between taste receptors on the tongue and scent molecules that journey through the back of the nasal passages, creating a rich tapestry of flavors to savor. The tongue identifies general categories like sweet, salty, bitter, sour, and savory, whereas the more intricate elements of flavor are derived from the sense of smell. When the nose is blocked, the unique flavors of many foods diminish, leaving them tasting oddly bland. When the scent is potent, even the slightest alterations in aroma can completely reshape the flavor profile. The mind weaves together both sources of information into a unified experience. This collaboration elucidates the reason warm foods frequently possess a deeper flavor, as heat elevates a greater number of scent molecules. It further elucidates the connection between memories of taste and those of smell. What appears to be a singular sensation is, in truth, a harmonious interplay where scent adds depth and flavor serves as the base. The texture can alter the flavor you perceive. The texture of food in the mouth influences one's experience just as significantly as its chemical makeup does. A creamy texture can impart a sense of sweetness or richness to a mixture, even in the absence of extra ingredients. A crisp or crunchy surface enhances the perception of flavors, making them appear more vibrant and intense. Silky textures soothe the taste buds, whereas coarse or stringy textures can enhance the perception of delicate flavors. The interplay of temperature and texture significantly affects the speed at which flavors disperse and the intensity with which they are perceived. The flavor of ice cream transforms when it is slightly softened, as the shift in texture influences the way the tastes are revealed. Even identical food can evoke different flavors based on its preparation, as the texture influences your anticipations. The mind perceives texture as a type of information, influencing the flavor even before conscious analysis occurs. The perception of possessing one's body is a construct upheld by the mind. In every moment, one perceives their body as a cohesive entity that is distinctly theirs. However, this sensation arises from the collaboration of numerous distinct systems. The visual information reveals the location of your limbs. Signals from the senses convey information about pressure, temperature, and stretch. Internal cues monitor the heartbeat, respiration, and posture. The brain weaves these signals together, creating a unified sense of ownership. When that connection is broken, the sensation may change or even become severed. Some illusions can lead an individual to experience a sense of ownership over a rubber hand or a virtual body. In certain rare instances, individuals experience the sensation of watching themselves from a vantage point beyond their own. These experiences illustrate that fake hand becomes mine is not a static concept. The narrative unfolds through ongoing collaboration. When the signals align, a sense of belonging within your body emerges. When they fail to do so, the sense of ownership can shift in unexpected directions. One can overlook occurrences happening right in front of them. Even when events unfold right before your eyes, there is no assurance that they will be acknowledged. The mind processes information with remarkable speed and certainty, allowing unforeseen occurrences to go unnoticed when one's focus is elsewhere. In experiments featuring an unexpected object traversing a scene, numerous individuals overlook it entirely, despite its considerable size and vivid visibility. This occurs as the mind emphasizes what it deems significant, while downplaying anything that diverges from its established focus. As focus narrows to a particular task, the external environment fades into the background, and the mind tends to replace intricate details with mere assumptions. This approach is not a flaw. Rather, it serves as a tactic to help you maneuver through a daunting landscape. Yet it also uncovers the extent to which your moment-to-moment awareness is limited. One perceives far less than one assumes, often remaining unaware of what has been overlooked. One may find that attention can fade away, often without any awareness of its departure. There are moments when awareness slips away so seamlessly that one only becomes aware of its absence upon its return. This subtle decline occurs amidst lengthy discussions, monotonous activities, or even while watching something that once captured attention. Rather than remaining fully engaged, the mind drifts into a state of automatic functioning, where perception persists, yet conscious involvement diminishes. The world remains present even in these moments. The narrative gracefully recedes, allowing internal reflections and nuanced distractions to emerge as the focal point. As attention gradually comes back, a fleeting moment of astonishment arises, as if the scene has subtly altered without your involvement. The subtle ebb and flow of focus reveals the ever-changing nature of attention. It is not a steady light of understanding, but a roaming essence that may fade or shine without offering warmth. The understanding of the world is shaped not merely by the senses, but rather by the subtle shifts of attention that guide perception. Familiar objects, once constant, gradually slip from the realm of awareness. Anything that stays the same for an extended period can fade from awareness. The ticking clock falls into silence, the burden of clothing fades away, and the subtle hum of appliances dissolves into oblivion. Even stationary visual objects, like a painting on a wall or an ornament on a shelf, can fade from awareness entirely once the mind determines they offer no fresh insights. This fading occurs as the mind is inherently attuned to recognize change over constancy. As new details cease to emerge, the mind lowers its focus, redirecting attention to whatever may hold greater significance. When the familiar object shifts unexpectedly or its hue alters even a fraction, it sharpens into clarity as if it has returned to existence. This phenomenon underscores the idea that perception is an ongoing dialogue. The observation is in constant flux, influenced by the balance of the new and the known, as the mind focuses its attention only on what appears most beneficial. The mind anticipates the words that are about to be spoken or seen. Long before the final words are spoken, the mind begins to weave together potential conclusions. This predictive process enhances communication by enabling comprehension of language, even when certain elements are obscured, disrupted, or articulated at a rapid pace. As one reads, the eyes make small leaps forward, while the brain utilizes fleeting glimpses of forthcoming words to form expectations. When the subsequent word aligns with the prediction, understanding progresses effortlessly. Should it fail to do so, the mind swiftly adjusts itself. This ongoing prediction sheds light on why you might occasionally misinterpret a sentence that starts off in a recognizable manner, or why you sometimes perceive phrases differently from their actual delivery. The brain endeavors to assist by formulating the most reasonable assumption prior to the complete information being available. The perception of language emerges as a collaboration between the signals received and the expectations held within, blending into a fluid experience of meaning that develops more swiftly than conscious thought could navigate on its own. The internal sense of direction relies on subtle cues that often go unnoticed. Even in the absence of a map, one frequently possesses a general sense of their location and the route back to a well-known destination. This skill emerges from a web of subtle signals that direct one's sense of direction. The angle of sunlight, the sensation of air currents, distant sounds, and even subtle patterns of magnetic influence all play a role in shaping one's internal compass. Furthermore, the brain meticulously monitors each step taken, weaving together the direction and distance into a cognitive map known as path integration. When these cues align, the sense of direction emerges as effortless and dependable. In moments of conflict, one might find themselves engulfed in a wave of disorientation, sensing a shift in the world around them, while in reality, it is merely their internal compass that has lost its grounding. Some animals exhibit extraordinary variations of this system, while humans, too, have a remarkably sensitive orientation that typically functions beneath the threshold of awareness. Your journey unfolds through an innate sense of understanding rather than deliberate thought. Anticipation and astonishment influence your perception of time's flow. The passage of time is profoundly shaped by your expectations of what is to come. When events unfold precisely as anticipated, moments may seem brief and seamless, as if they pass by without any depth. When something unusual or surprising occurs, time can seem to elongate as the mind allocates greater attention to unraveling the unexpected intricacies. The experience of waiting is drawn out by anticipation, as every fleeting moment leading to the desired event captures one's full attention. Following a novel or emotionally charged experience, individuals frequently recall it as having endured longer than it actually did, as the memory encompasses a greater amount of information. In contrast, the ordinary days fade away swiftly when looking back. These evolving viewpoints illustrate that the passage of time within the mind transcends the confines of clocks. Emotion, novelty, and prediction intertwine to shape it, each element distorting the perception of time into a distinctly personal experience, rather than an exact measure. You weave a continuous world from scattered sensory fragments. Each sense delivers its own separate stream of signals, each arriving with slight delays and different forms. Instead of presenting these inputs individually, the brain merges them into a single coherent experience. A visual flash, a sound, and a touch may occur at different actual times, yet you perceive them as one event because the brain aligns them into a unified moment. Gaps are filled, inconsistencies are smoothed, and stray signals are blended into a story that feels whole. Without this synthesis, the world would appear disjointed and confusing, full of tiny mismatches rather than seamless flow. The mind acts like an editor assembling a film from scattered clips, selecting the best arrangement to create a stable narrative. What feels like direct perception is actually a constructed tapestry woven from many independent threads, each handled so gracefully that the stitching is invisible. Imagined experiences can be mistaken for real ones. When imagination taps into the same neural circuits used for perception, the resulting experience can feel remarkably lifelike. A vividly imagined sound may echo with surprising presence. A recalled scent may seem to drift through the air. A mental image of a place from your past may appear with clarity that rivals actual vision. These experiences occur because the brain does not always distinguish between internally generated activity and genuine sensory input. If the internal pattern is strong enough, the mind interprets it as real. This blending is especially common when you are tired, deeply focused, or emotionally charged. It also plays a role in dreams, daydreams, and certain memory experiences, where imagined and remembered details merge. These moments show that perception is not strictly tied to the outside world. It is shaped by the brain's ability to create sensations from within, sometimes so convincingly that they feel indistinguishable from reality. You hear your own voice differently from everyone else. When you speak, the sound reaches your ears through two pathways. One pathway is the air around you, carrying vibrations like any other sound. The second is the vibration of your bones, resonating inside your head. This internal vibration emphasizes deeper tones that others do not hear. As a result, your voice feels richer and more familiar to you than the version that appears in recordings. When people first hear their recorded voice, they often feel surprised or uncomfortable because the internal component is missing. The brain becomes accustomed to the blend it hears during speech, so the external-only version seems unfamiliar. This dual-channel perception reveals how unique your experience of your own voice truly is. No other person hears the exact combination of vibrations that you do. The perception you hold of your own body diverges from the way others perceive it. Within the depths of your mind exists a unique blueprint of your body, directing your movements, posture, and engagement with the surrounding world. This map is defined by feeling rather than looks, and it does not always correspond with what a reflection shows. The perception of the internal body shifts, expanding or contracting in response to emotions, tension, or fatigue. Some areas might seem nearer or more distant than their actual physical distance suggests. Some individuals find themselves acutely aware of certain areas of their body that are hardly perceptible, while other regions seem remote and less engaged or affected. This internal perception shapes the way one walks, gestures, and positions oneself. The interpretation of others' actions is influenced as one compares observations with personal bodily sensations. The distinction between the inner and outer body does not suggest any misunderstanding. It illustrates that perception is influenced more by bodily sensations than by visual observations. Vision does not regard every part of your visual field with the same importance. While the world seems to present a consistent level of detail in every direction, it is only a limited central area that truly provides clarity and sharpness. This region, filled with specialized cells, plays a crucial role in perceiving fine details and colors with remarkable clarity. All that lies beyond this concentrated area fades into a blur, revealing only vague outlines, movement, and an overall glow. Nevertheless, the brain makes up for this lack of detail by weaving together numerous tiny eye movements, creating the illusion of a complete and sharp panorama. The gaze traverses the scene in quick flashes, collecting bits and pieces that the mind weaves into a cohesive narrative. The uneven distribution often goes unnoticed, as the mind adeptly fills in the gaps with recollections and forecasts. This smooth blending gives the sense that every part of your view is uniformly clear, despite the fact that much of it is formed from vague impressions instead of exact visual details. Subtle contextual details influence the perception of the size of objects, making them seem larger or smaller. The perception of size is influenced not just by the object in question, but also by the shapes, patterns, and distances that surround it. An object can appear significantly more substantial when surrounded by smaller companions, or diminish when placed alongside something formidable. Even simple line drawings possess the ability to alter one's perception of scale when the angles or contexts suggest depth or perspective. The brain depends on relational cues to assess size, as it seldom has access to absolute measurements through direct visual input. The interplay of light, shadow, and texture weaves a rich tapestry that shapes understanding. In daily experiences, a room may appear larger when it holds fewer items, or when the walls feature specific designs. It also implies that familiar items might seem oddly oversized or undersized when seen in an unfamiliar context. The narrative unfolds with a perspective that reveals how perception continually recalibrates the scale of reality, adapting the dimensions of objects in relation to their environment to ensure a harmonious understanding of the world. The interplay of light and shadow profoundly alters one's perception of depth and form. A flat surface can take on a three-dimensional quality when shadows cast themselves across it in a perfectly orchestrated manner. Subtle shifts in light transform how one perceives contours, shapes, and spatial relationships. Light shapes the world, illuminating contours and steering the mind toward a specific comprehension of structure. In the absence of shadow, objects seem to lack depth, taking on an oddly weightless quality. When light comes from unexpected angles, forms may appear warped or inverted, as though the outlines have turned inside out. Artists depend on these techniques to craft believable representations of depth on a two-dimensional surface. In nature, the changing light alters landscapes with each passing hour, uncovering fresh layers of texture and depth. The way one perceives form is intricately linked to the interplay of light and shadow. What one observes is a collaboration between tangible surfaces and the light that shapes them into significance. The mind effortlessly smooths over visual jumps, creating an illusion of seamless reality. As one shifts their gaze, vast segments of the visual landscape swiftly traverse the retina. This movement is meant to create sudden changes, yet they often go unnoticed. The brain momentarily diminishes visual sensitivity while the eyes are in motion, safeguarding you from the potential blur and disorder that could ensue. It seamlessly merges the previous and subsequent images into an uninterrupted journey. The smoothing effect is remarkably powerful, rendering even interruptions like blinks, which completely obscure vision for a moment, imperceptible. The world appears constant, not due to its inherent stability, but because the mind skillfully filters out the chaos that lies beneath. This subtle editing maintains a feeling of unity, creating the illusion of a seamless progression, despite the ongoing interruptions of raw visual input. The narrative unfolds, revealing that reality is not merely a flow of visuals, but rather a meticulously woven tapestry. One continually envisions what lies ahead to make sense of the current moment. In a world that is always evolving, the brain continuously predicts what may come next. The predictions shape perception with such precision that one often feels the anticipated result even before all the details are revealed. As a ball is thrown, the observer's mind instinctively predicts the path it will take. As one turns their head, the mind anticipates the changing landscape even before the motion is complete. Even while listening to speech, the next word frequently seems familiar before it is uttered. Such anticipations enable swift responses and seamless engagements with the surroundings. Their influence extends to your awareness, sifting the present through the perspective of what the mind perceives ought to occur. Anticipation accelerates perception, yet it also implies that one's experience is shaped by expectations rather than solely by raw sensory input. In a world perpetually advancing, one finds themselves constantly in pursuit of the next moment. At times, the mind can overshadow the senses, especially when its forecasts hold greater weight. When the brain is assured in its expectations, it can dismiss opposing signals from the senses. This is why illusions can seem remarkably persuasive, even when one is aware of their lack of reality. The mind tends to embrace interpretations that align with its internal framework, particularly when sensory information is unclear or lacking. Anticipating a particular sensation can lead to experiencing it even before it manifests. Should one hold the conviction that a sound ought to persist, it may linger softly in the mind long after it has ceased. While predictions contribute to a stable world, they can also lead to inaccuracies when assumptions overshadow the evidence. This interplay demonstrates that perception does not simply reflect reality as it is. The negotiation unfolds as the brain selects the version of events that appears most likely, despite the senses hinting at an alternative narrative. The effort one anticipates to exert influences the perceived weight of an object. Prior to lifting an object, one's mind swiftly assesses its weight by considering its size, appearance, and previous encounters. The anticipation shapes the feeling as you grasp it for the first time. When one anticipates an object to be heavy, the experience of lifting it may reveal an unexpected lightness, leading to a brief moment of astonishment. If one holds the belief that it will be light, the experience may, in fact, feel more burdensome than it truly is. These mismatches reveal that the perception of weight is influenced more by anticipation than by sheer strength alone. The muscles and nerves relay details regarding resistance and load. Yet, it is the brain that processes this information, shaped by the lens of expectation. Items of the same weight can evoke strikingly different sensations based on their context form, and the preconceived notions one holds. The feeling of weight emerges not only from physical reality, but also from the mind's interpretation of that reality. The hues surrounding one can affect the perception of warmth or coolness in an object. The perception of temperature is intricately linked to visual cues. Cool colors, like soft blues or gentle greens, can impart a sense of chill to a space, even if the actual temperature stays the same. Warm colors, such as deep reds or radiant golds, can evoke a feeling of warmth that transforms your physical sensations. This influence reaches far beyond mere visual landscapes. A beverage presented in a cup adorned with warm hues might appear more heated, whereas one featuring a cooler palette could evoke a sense of refreshment. The role of light is significant, as the hue of illumination can transform an environment, evoking feelings of chilliness or warmth. These shifts illustrate the deep connections among the senses. The perception of temperature is not solely determined by the skin. Rather, it is also shaped by the cues provided by the eyes. The mind weaves together hints into a cohesive understanding, steering one's perception in surprising directions. The mind possesses the remarkable ability to conjure movement in the absence of any tangible action. In specific circumstances, the brain perceives still images as if they are in motion. Patterns featuring repeating shapes, subtle contrasts, or alternating colors evoke a sense of movement despite the absence of any physical change. The visual system is adept at swiftly detecting movement, frequently depending on preconceived notions regarding the behavior of objects. When a pattern bears a resemblance to something that could be in motion, the brain may activate the motion detectors, even in the absence of any real change. In the shadows, subtle after-images may linger in the periphery as neurons recalibrate their responses. Even the smallest involuntary movements of the eyes can cause stationary objects to seem as though they shimmer or glide. These illusions illustrate the profound way in which the mind emphasizes the detection of movement, occasionally fabricating it in the face of ambiguous signals. Motion, akin to various elements of perception, is in part a narrative crafted by the brain. Anticipation alone can give rise to suffering. The experience of pain is influenced not just by physical injury, but also by belief, memory, and anticipation. When anticipation of pain arises, the mind can heighten even the faintest discomfort or create a feeling in the absence of any actual threat. This reaction arises as a safeguard intended to promote carefulness. When the brain senses potential danger, it readies the body by increasing its sensitivity. In certain situations, individuals experience discomfort upon witnessing something they perceive as harmful, regardless of its actual nature. On the other hand, when individuals anticipate minimal discomfort, actual pain might be lessened. This adaptability illustrates that suffering is not merely a straightforward indication of injury. The interpretation is influenced by the surrounding context, the emotions involved, and the expectations held. The mind conjures pain not as a trick, but as a form of protection. However, this safeguarding mechanism may occasionally set off alarms without any genuine reason. The essence of sweetness can be perceived even in the absence of sugar. The experience of sweetness transcends the mere chemical composition of food consumed. The experience is influenced by a blend of anticipation, aroma, feel, warmth, and the recollections associated with comparable dishes. As the mind anticipates sweetness, it enhances the activity of taste receptors, making even subtle signals seem more intense than their physical reality. Certain aromas inherently evoke sweet flavors, and as they waft through your senses, the mind merges them with taste information, crafting the illusion of sugar where it is absent. Smooth textures and warm temperatures can enhance this illusion by echoing the characteristics of indulgent, sugary treats. Some fruits are perceived as sweeter when enjoyed warm, not due to any chemical alteration, but because the mind associates the warmth with ripeness. A vivid imagination can evoke a subtle sweetness, as memories of a familiar treat resurface. This indicates that flavor transcends mere chemical composition. The narrative unfolds through a rich tapestry of sensory experiences, intricately woven together by the threads of expectation and surrounding circumstances. Sounds can be conjured in the mind, even if they never touched the ears. In moments of deep focus, solitude, or silence, one might perceive soft murmurs, faint tones, or imagined voices that seem to resonate from beyond the confines of their mind. These experiences emerge as the auditory system continues to engage, even in moments of silence surrounding you. Neurons tasked with sound detection persist in their subtle firing patterns, and when these patterns align in specific manners, the mind perceives them as external noise. The influence of memory significantly shapes these illusions. A melody that once occupied your mind might resonate softly, as though it continues to play in the background. Emotional states can amplify this effect, particularly in moments of anticipation or stress, as the brain grows increasingly attuned to internal signals. Even the wind, vibrations, or the rhythmic flow of blood in one's ears can take on a new form as phantom sound when seen through the lens of expectation. The line separating what is imagined from what exists in the external world is more delicate than it appears. Colors that appear identical may not always be recognized as the same hue. Two patches of color that align flawlessly in physical terms may present themselves in contrasting ways, influenced by the surrounding environment. The interplay of shadows, lighting, contrast, and surrounding colors influences the brain's perception of hue. A gray square can take on a blue hue when it is set against warm tones, or it may seem yellow when positioned among cooler shades. This adaptation allows the mind to sustain a steady perception amidst the fluctuations of light. In the great outdoors, as sunlight dances and transforms throughout the day, the visual system quietly adapts, ensuring that familiar objects maintain their essence and do not seem to shift endlessly. However, this significant adjustment can lead to perceptions where the same colors appear completely distinct. The interplay of texture, memory, and emotional state can alter hue, causing the same shade to evoke a sense of warmth or coolness based on one's mood. The perception of color is not an inherent characteristic of the world. Rather, it is an interpretation molded by a myriad of delicate factors. Quietude can evoke a feeling of time slipping away. In the stillness, one can sense the passage of time, molded by the gentle rhythms within, and the delicate hints of the senses. The steady beat of a heart, the rise and fall of breath, and the gentle pulsing of attention weave together an internal rhythm that enables one to perceive the passage of time in silence. As silence lingers, it may evoke a sense of richness and expansiveness, or, conversely, a weighty and sluggish feeling, all influenced by one's emotional state. In moments of anticipation, silence deepens, each second stretching as the mind registers the lack of anticipated sound. In moments of meditation or deep relaxation, silence unfolds like a vast landscape, where each moment gently merges into the next. The mind perceives the passage of time, relying not on outside cues, but on the rhythms of its own internal processes. Even in the absence of sound, one can sense the delicate progression of every moment. The brain sifts through the vast sensory landscape, discarding much of it before it reaches your awareness. With each passing second, the senses gather an overwhelming amount of information, far beyond what one could ever hope to consciously comprehend. In order to avoid being overwhelmed, the brain swiftly navigates through an immense influx of information, allowing only a fraction to enter conscious awareness. Most background sounds fade into a gentle haze, while numerous visual details remain submerged in the depths of subconscious perception. The temperature of the clothing, the firmness of the seat, and the faint vibrations of the environment all slip into the background, becoming mere whispers unless something out of the ordinary pulls focus back to them. This filtering enables a focus on what appears significant, while allowing routine sensations to be managed by automatic systems. In the absence of this ongoing choice, the world would appear daunting and disordered. Rather, perception transforms into a carefully crafted experience, molded by the brain's interpretation of what it deems useful or significant in every instance. One can feel the presence of another, even in their absence, without the need for sight. Even in the absence of sight or sound, one might sense the presence of another in the room. This intuitive awareness emerges from the subtle cues that the senses pick up without deliberate focus. Changes in air pressure, subtle vibrations beneath your feet, gentle shifts in the air, or slight variations in temperature against your skin may indicate the presence of another being. The mind is adept at picking up on these environmental signals, particularly in contexts where understanding social dynamics is crucial. The nervous system instinctively monitors these shifts, frequently well in advance of your realization that another person is close by. Emotional sensitivity indeed holds significance. Humans have developed the ability to sense proximity for safety and coordination, and this instinct continues to be present even in contemporary settings. This subtle awareness carries an air of the mystical, emerging from a finely tuned perception operating in the background. Echoes may often be perceived as completely fresh sounds. As sounds bounce off various surfaces, the returning vibrations may reach the brain with a delay or distortion, leading it to perceive them as distinct occurrences. This phenomenon becomes particularly evident in expansive halls, canyons, or vast open areas where echoes unfold into clear, separate layers. The mind diligently strives to discern if a sound is genuine or merely a reflection. However, when the timing or clarity is unclear, it might classify the echo as an entirely new origin. Subtle echoes further influence one's perception of space. The brain utilizes timing to assess distance and size, even when one is not consciously aware of the reflections. As echoes grow intricate, the mind intricately weaves them into patterns that can evoke a sense of music, mystery, or bewilderment. These interpretations illuminate the extent to which perception depends on arranging sound into a coherent framework, even when the origin is merely a mirror of your surroundings. Emotion can be discerned solely through the quality of a voice. A voice conveys a depth of meaning that transcends the mere words it utters. The rhythm, tone, breath, and subtle shifts in pitch unveil emotional states with remarkable immediacy. Even in the absence of a visible face, one can perceive tension, warmth, excitement, or unease conveyed through a single phrase. This sensitivity emerges from the understanding that vocal expression is influenced by the whole body. During moments of stress, muscles constrict. In times of tranquility, breath becomes deeper, and energy shifts in the presence of joy or anger. The physical adjustments transform the sound in ways that the brain perceives immediately. Humans have developed the ability to perceive emotion through voice, a crucial skill for communication and cooperation that continues to hold significant power in contemporary interactions. It is truly fascinating how one can often perceive emotion in a foreign language, even without grasping the meaning of the words. The voice serves as a portal to another individual's inner realm, filled with nuanced insights. Recognition of faces occurs at a faster pace compared to that of objects. The brain allocates specific areas for the recognition of faces, allowing for an almost immediate identification process. In the midst of a bustling crowd, one face can capture your gaze more swiftly than any other form. This swift acknowledgement enables one to perceive identity, emotion, and intention in mere fractions of a moment. Faces possess a complexity that your mind navigates with astonishing skill, detecting subtle movements near the eyes, the angle of the mouth, or changes in expression that convey emotions. These abilities emerge in the early stages of life and continue to be some of the most commonly exercised forms of perception. The face, rich in social cues, commands the brain's attention, leading to its swift and comprehensive processing compared to everyday objects. This specialization reveals the intriguing ability to identify a familiar individual from just a fleeting glance or an incomplete perspective, even when the context around them remains ambiguous. Peril is perceived more swiftly than the mind can respond. In moments of danger, the mind reacts instinctively, often before one can grasp the full extent of the situation. A sudden movement at the edge of one's vision, a sharp sound, or an unexpected shift in the environment can provoke an immediate reaction. This swift process unfolds as incoming signals navigate routes crafted for efficiency, evading the more deliberate pace of conscious thought. These pathways engage the muscles, heighten alertness, and ready the body for action, even before the mind can fully grasp the circumstances. Only afterward does awareness arrive, unraveling the reasons behind the reaction. The instinctive awareness of peril is a time-honored survival trait that continues to function in contemporary environments. It provides the opportunity to evade danger or pause briefly to collect essential details. Understanding is not always deliberate. At times, it manifests with speed, driven by instinct, and serves as a shield. Your pupils react to feelings just as they do to brightness. While pupils adjust to control the light that enters the eye, they also respond to the changing terrain of your emotions. Their excitement might lead to a slight opening, imparting a feeling that the world has become a touch more radiant. Instances of fear can cause them to grow as the body braces for the chance of abrupt action. Curiosity frequently brings about a similar delicate expansion, a soft indication that one's focus has drawn nearer to that which has ensnared their fascination. Even profound affection can shape this response, fostering a gentleness in the gaze that others might perceive, though they may not grasp the reason behind it. The changes take place as the muscles that govern the pupils are connected not just to light levels, but also to the autonomic nervous system. Emotional states influence breathing, heart rate, posture, and even pupil size. This response flows softly and steadily, often eluding your own awareness, yet it is perceptible enough for those nearby to occasionally sense it without fully recognizing their observation. The eyes may remain silent, yet they unveil a depth of inner emotions that often surpasses what one might expect. Vibrations resonate not just through the skin, but also through the very bones. The body serves as a resonant structure, transmitting vibrations deep below the surface. As sound waves or physical tremors encounter the skull or the long bones of the limbs, they penetrate inward with an unexpected fluidity. The subtle movements find their way to the inner ear, where specialized structures transform vibrations into significant sensations. This explains why the sound of your own voice feels more vibrant to you compared to how it is captured in recordings. The sound reaches you, partially through. Your voice resonates deeper, introducing low tones that remain unnoticed by others. Musical instruments create comparable outcomes. A profound drumbeat resonates within one's chest, while a deep string note from a cello appears to journey through the very bones of the spine. Even tools like electric toothbrushes or specific power equipment create sensations that appear to resonate throughout the entire body, instead of merely resting on the skin. Specialized hearing devices intentionally utilize your voice resonates deeper to circumvent the eardrum. These experiences unveil that touch transcends mere surface interaction. The skeleton serves as a delicate conduit, transmitting information within, expanding the spectrum of sensations the body can experience. The mind constructs spatial maps from fragmented glimpses. As one navigates through unfamiliar spaces, the mind collects fragments of information from swift glances, echoed sounds, and vague outlines. These fragments transform into small puzzle pieces that the mind weaves together into a cohesive internal map, even if the whole environment is never fully visible at once. A doorway, seen fleetingly from the periphery, transforms into a pivotal element. The quality of light, suggesting the presence of a window, transforms into something more significant. The subtle sound of footsteps or the gentle touch of carpet enriches the narrative. The brain weaves these clues into a cohesive tapestry, creating a mental map that enables one to navigate the space with assurance upon a second visit. Remarkably, this map endures even in dim lighting or when relying solely on memory for navigation. When a change occurs, like the shifting of a chair, it often catches your attention right away, as the mind anticipates the surroundings to align with its internal map. This process illustrates how understanding transcends mere observation. The brain perpetually anticipates and completes details, transforming fragmented glimpses into a unified sense of place that appears whole, even when the visual input is sparse. Memories can linger for remarkable durations. Of all the senses, the sense of smell possesses the most immediate and emotionally resonant connection to memory. A subtle scent can whisk you away to a memory long buried in the depths of your mind. This occurs as olfactory signals move directly from the nose to the brain areas associated with emotion and long-term memory, bypassing the filtering processes that other senses experience. Consequently, memories associated with scent maintain their clarity and emotional depth. The aroma of sun-kissed timber evokes memories of carefree summers from one's youth. A hint of spice can bring to mind a meal enjoyed with someone who was once a significant part of your life. Even scents experienced for a fleeting moment can etch themselves as lasting impressions in the mind. In contrast to images or sounds that tend to fade with time, scents emerge with an unexpected vividness, as though safeguarded in a concealed repository. This profound connection unveils the intricate relationship between emotion and memory, intertwined with sensory experience, illustrating how a single breath can link the present moment to the echoes of the past. The mind amplifies differences to clarify boundaries. In the quest to comprehend shapes and boundaries, the visual system enhances the contrasts between light and dark. This enhancement refines edges, rendering them more pronounced than they seem in the unprocessed visual input. In the absence of this delicate amplification, objects would merge more seamlessly, rendering the world seemingly more two-dimensional and bewildering. The brain instinctively modifies contrast, enhancing the distinctions along edges to ensure they are prominently visible against their environment. Even when two areas of an image share the same brightness, subtle changes in context can lead one to seem lighter or darker due to the brain's interpretation. This influence aids in traversing intricate surroundings, understanding nuances, and perceiving motion. Artists frequently emulate this organic enhancement to add dimension to a two-dimensional plane. The process unfolds continuously while you are awake, subtly shaping your perception without making itself known, illustrating that what you observe is an altered representation rather than an exact replica of reality. The essence of flavor emerges from the intricate interplay of sound, color, and texture. The experience of flavor starts on the tongue, yet it unfolds through the harmonious collaboration of multiple senses. The sound of a crisp apple being bitten into heralds freshness and enhances the sweetness within. A vibrant hue can imbue a dish with a sense of opulence, whereas softer shades suggest a more subdued flavor experience. The warmth of the food determines the ascent of aromas, while the texture plays a crucial role in the intensity of flavors that emerge. Even the faintest sounds, like the snap of a biscuit or the fizz of a drink, play a role in shaping one's perception of flavor. The signals arrive at the brain all at once, merging into a cohesive experience. When a single element shifts, the overall taste can seem altered, even when the components stay unchanged. A creamy texture can impart an illusion of sweetness. A rich hue can impart a sense of warmth or strength. The essence of flavor unfolds as a rich tapestry, intricately woven from sound, sight, smell, touch, and taste, illuminating the profound connections among the senses. Humans possess the ability to perceive magnetic influences in ways that are more nuanced than one might anticipate. While humans may not actively use magnetic fields for navigation like certain animals, studies indicate that the brain subtly reacts to changes in magnetic orientation. Within the skull lie tiny particles, abundant in iron, which might quietly engage with the magnetic forces that surround you. The interactions may lack a distinct sense of direction, yet they seem to have an impact on specific brain rhythms. Some experiments reveal that when magnetic conditions alter, electrical patterns in the brain transform in ways that imply the mind has acknowledged the change, even if the individual remains unaware. This sensitivity probably emerged in ancient ancestors who depended significantly on environmental signals for navigation. In the present day, it serves as a subtle reminder of those long-lost skills, seamlessly woven into the broader framework that aids in preserving one's sense of direction and spatial perception. Even though you may not be aware of it, your nervous system can respond subtly and almost imperceptibly to magnetic influences. As one ages, the passage of time appears to quicken. In the early years of life, each passing year unfolds like a grand adventure, brimming with novelty and wonder. The mind captures a wealth of details, and every memory unfolds with a sense of exploration. As one ages, and the routine of daily life becomes more established, there are fewer instances that capture attention with the same freshness. The brain retains fewer new details, leading to the perception that extended periods of time condense when reflecting on them. In adulthood, a single year may seem to lack the vivid milestones that a mere month in childhood can offer. The perception is also influenced by emotional states. Stress has a way of stretching out the days while making the years seem to fly by. Moments of joy may pass effortlessly, while the stillness of quieter times tends to leave a lighter mark. The perception of time shifts in unique ways, influenced by the depth of one's connection to the surrounding world. As the novelty diminishes, recollection fills in the voids, causing the years to appear to rush ahead with ever-growing swiftness. A moment may evoke a sense of familiarity, despite being entirely new. An unsettling feeling emerges when the mind identifies a pattern in the current moment that echoes a framework held in memory, despite being unable to pinpoint the precise origin. The mind perpetually juxtaposes its perceptions with its memories, seeking connections that facilitate a more effective understanding of the world. As the match teeters on the edge of completion, a sudden wave of familiarity may wash over you. At times, the feeling arises from the interplay of elements like lighting, posture, or tone of voice. At times, this phenomenon may stem from a fleeting glitch in the memory system, leading the brain to perceive the present as though it has already been experienced. This evokes a sense that the experience is one that has been encountered previously. While it may seem enigmatic, it illustrates the brain's dependence on recognizing patterns to understand experiences. The sense of familiarity serves as a cue, indicating that the current moment resonates with the profound reservoir of recollection. The way one perceives the world shifts significantly in moments of fatigue. Fatigue influences the way in which one's senses collect and understand information. As the brain transitions into conservation mode, colors might fade and details could become indistinct. The world may appear somewhat more remote or subdued, as maintaining focus becomes increasingly challenging. Sounds can appear more intense or muted than normal, influenced by one's emotional condition. At times, one's sense of rhythm might waver, causing movements to seem sluggish or requiring more exertion. As the mind starts to automatically fill in gaps, decision-making increasingly leans on expectation instead of meticulously processing every detail. Expressions may grow more elusive, and the passage of time can become unpredictable, with certain instances expanding while others seem to contract. The alterations unveil the extent to which perception depends on mental energy. As that energy diminishes, the brain responds by aligning itself with the world around it. The outcome presents a gentler and less exact reality, molded equally by fatigue and the senses at play. Dim illumination alters the hues you think you perceive. As daylight fades, the visual world around you experiences a subtle transformation that often goes unnoticed in your conscious mind. The cells in your eyes that react to bright light and color start to settle down, passing the responsibility to another set of cells that perform more effectively in low-light conditions. These new cells are adept at sensing motion and differentiating shapes, but they fall short in providing the complete vibrancy of color. The reds begin to fade, transforming into a soft, muted brownish hue. The yellows gently fade, transitioning into shades of gray. The blues stretch out, giving twilight a quality that feels both serene and somewhat surreal, as if wrapped in gentle, cool hues. The streetlights and moonlight weave a unique tapestry, casting surfaces in delicate shades of gold and silver, altering one's perception of depth. In the dim glow, familiar objects transform, their personalities shifting as textures and shadows emerge, previously unnoticed in the brightness of day. The brain strives to amend these alterations by infusing anticipated hues, yet the transformation remains evident. The revelation of night vision shows that color is not a constant. A harmonious interplay unfolds among light, biology, and memory, subtly adapting to the surrounding environment. In the shadows, movement takes on a distinct quality. As visibility diminishes, the brain gathers less intricate details regarding edges, shapes, and outlines, compelling it to depend on an alternative array of signals to understand movement. Even simple actions acquire a fresh significance. A figure traversing a shadowy street appears to float rather than walk, as the subtle movements of their limbs become indistinct. Shadows seem to expand and contract as they glide over surfaces, crafting an illusion of motion despite the stillness of the surroundings. In the darkness of night, the subtle shifts in your surroundings take on a heightened significance, revealing movements that feel far more intense than they would under the bright light of day. In the great outdoors, animals frequently appear more imposing or swift, as the shadows blur their shapes and amplify their movements. Even one's own movement may seem transformed, as though the rhythm has shifted just a bit. The brain adapts by relying increasingly on prediction, resulting in moving objects appearing oddly fluid or ethereal. In the shadows, movement transforms into a gentler and more enigmatic encounter, influenced equally by the boundaries of sight and the essence of the surrounding world. The surrounding context can shift the perception of the sound you believe you are hearing. The perception of pitch emerges as a remarkably stable aspect of sound, yet the brain processes it through a complex web of expectations, comparisons, and contextual signals. A solitary tone resonating in a tranquil space appears straightforward and distinct, yet when that identical tone is enveloped by sounds that are higher or lower, its pitch takes on a new dimension. The mind establishes a reference point for pitch based on recent auditory experiences, recalibrating each incoming sound to align with the established pattern. Even visual cues shape this understanding. Observing a musician's hand ascend can trigger your mind to interpret a higher pitch, despite the sound staying constant. In a vast expanse, when a sound emerges, echoes may distort or elongate its vibrations, imparting a sensation of depth or fullness. In a confined area, it can seem more intense or vivid. The effects reveal that pitch transcends mere physical attributes. The interpretation is influenced by the surrounding context, expectations, and environment, blending external vibrations with internal judgments. A sensation can be felt by the mind even before it happens. The brain is in a constant state of anticipation, predicting the sensations that lie ahead, particularly when hands reach out toward an object, or when the expectation of contact with another person arises. This prediction is remarkably potent, allowing you to sense a subtle touch just moments before the real connection occurs. As a hand reaches toward an arm, the mind anticipates the forthcoming sensation, sharpening awareness in the region where contact is about to happen. The nervous system prepares the receptors, aligns the posture, and readies the muscles, crafting a subtle illusion of contact even prior to any touch upon the skin. This anticipation enables swift reactions and the avoidance of potential danger, while simultaneously showcasing the active role your mind plays in shaping your sensory experience. When touch arrives earlier or later than anticipated, the resulting prediction can create a dissonance that feels astonishing, as if the world has shifted out of harmony with one's expectations. The narrative unfolds in a subtle manner, illustrating how perception intertwines the future with the present, creating a seamless experience that feels unified. The world you perceive is transformed by emotion. The emotional state serves as a subtle lens through which all senses are perceived, shaping the interpretation of the world with each passing moment. Joy brings forth a warmth and vibrancy to colors, whereas sadness tends to mellow the hues and imbue sounds with a weighty presence. In moments of anxiety, one's focus intensifies, causing even the slightest movements to appear swifter and unexpected sounds to resonate with greater volume. Calmness creates a contrasting effect, softening the contours of experience, allowing the world to appear more expansive and tender. Even taste and smell transform when swayed by emotion. Stress has the power to mute flavors, whereas happiness can amplify the sweetness or brightness found in foods. These changes emerge from the interconnected pathways of emotion and perception within the brain. When one intensifies, it influences the other automatically. The world itself does not change, but the interpretation of it does, shaping your surroundings to reflect your inner landscape. Threats attract your attention faster than neutral things. As something potentially dangerous makes its way into the environment, the senses detect it with remarkable swiftness. A sudden movement at the edge of vision, an unexpected sound behind you, or a strange shape in the distance can pull your attention before you consciously evaluate it. This rapid shift occurs because the brain maintains specialized systems designed to detect danger using minimal information. These systems operate alongside regular perception, continuously searching for indications that something could pose a threat. Even when a threat turns out to be harmless, such as a shadow or a falling leaf, your attention has already been drawn toward it. This instinct emerged as a safeguard for early humans navigating unpredictable environments, and it continues to be present even in today's secure surroundings. It ensures that you notice potential problems before anything else, placing survival above curiosity or comfort. Focus shifts to danger well in advance of logical reasoning taking hold. Tracking moving objects proves to be simpler than keeping an eye on those that remain still. Although it might seem that stationary objects are easier to see, the visual system is actually more sensitive to movement. When something moves, the brain receives a stream of changing information that highlights shape, location, and intention. These changes trigger motion-sensitive cells that respond quickly and reliably. A still object, by contrast, provides less dynamic information, making it more likely to fade into the background, especially if it blends with its surroundings. This is why animals freeze to avoid detection, and why subtle movement in a field catches your eye immediately. Even small changes, like the flick of a leaf or the shifting of light on water, draw attention more quickly than static forms. Movement provides the brain with information about direction, speed, and potential significance, making it a priority in perception. Your mind detects patterns far before conscious analysis. Mind finds meaning in chaos begins long before you become aware of it. The brain works continuously to identify structure in the world, whether in shapes, sounds, or behavior. When you look at a collection of objects, you may feel that something stands out even without knowing why. Your mind has already spotted a pattern that does not fit. When you listen to a melody, you anticipate the next note because your brain has recognized a structure within the rhythm. These abilities operate beneath awareness, guiding your perceptions and decisions before conscious thought participates. You feel drawn to certain arrangements, repelled by others, or curious about patterns that hint at something incomplete. This deep sensitivity to structure helps you navigate complex environments, understand social cues, and interpret the meaning of events with speed and accuracy. Rhythm can be sensed without any actual beats. Even in silence, the mind can generate a sense of rhythm based on expectation, memory, or faint environmental cues. Your internal timing systems organize perception into patterns, allowing you to feel a pulse even when no distinct sound marks it. Musicians rely on this ability to keep steady time, and listeners often sway or tap their feet during music, continuing the rhythm even after it stops. Everyday experiences also demonstrate this phenomenon. The flashing of lights, the swinging of a sign, or the distant movement of waves can create a sense of rhythm simply through repetition. The brain is tuned to detect cycles and intervals, grouping sensory input into timed sequences that feel natural and predictable. This internal pulse helps coordinate movement, speech, and thought, revealing that rhythm is not just a property of sound, it is a fundamental organizing principle of perception. You understand speech in noisy places more easily than you expect. Even in crowded spaces, filled with overlapping voices, clattering objects, and shifting sounds, the brain can isolate the words directed at you with surprising effectiveness. This ability arises from a combination of prediction, familiarity, and specialized processing pathways. When you listen to someone speak, your brain anticipates the structure of the sentence and fills in missing pieces that noise obscures. Visual cues, such as mouth movements, support this process, as do the distinct rhythms and tones associated with familiar voices. In addition, the brain treats speech as a priority, filtering the surrounding noise so that the relevant sound stands out. This filtering is so effective that you may not realize how much interference was present until you focus on it deliberately. The ability to extract meaning from chaos reveals how powerfully the mind organizes sensory experience, emphasizing what matters and softening what does not. Being in water changes your perception of the world around you. Immersion in water transforms nearly every sense you rely on. Sound reaches you differently, traveling faster and arriving through both skin and bone in ways that make it feel rounder and closer. Light bends as it enters the surface, making objects appear nearer or larger than they truly are. Colors shift as deeper wavelengths fade first, turning reds into muted browns and leaving greens and blues more dominant. Your sense of balance alters as the body loses its usual relationship with gravity. Movements feel slower, yet strangely effortless, creating an almost floating sense of time. Pressure wraps around the body evenly, dulling certain sensations while amplifying others, such as the feeling of gentle currents brushing your skin. Even your awareness of your own size changes, as buoyancy reduces the weight of your limbs and makes your posture feel different. These shifts come together to create a world that is familiar yet mysteriously transformed. Water reveals how adaptable perception is, reshaping reality with every ripple. Closing your nose changes the way things taste. Taste seems like something that happens on the tongue, yet much of what you identify as flavor comes from scent molecules rising through the back of the throat. When the nose is blocked, these aromatic signals are muted, leaving only the basic categories of taste on the tongue. Foods that once felt rich may suddenly seem flat, and subtle distinctions disappear. Texture becomes more noticeable as your brain looks for cues to replace the missing scents. Temperature also plays a larger role, making warm foods feel softer and cool foods feel sharper. Even familiar dishes can become unrecognizable without the contribution of smell. This change highlights how much the senses cooperate to create a complete experience. When scent is removed, the mind receives only a partial picture and must reinterpret flavor accordingly. The result is a reminder that taste is not one sense, but a combination of many, each one essential to the richness of eating. Distance is estimated using many cues beyond vision. Although sight plays a major role in judging how far away something is, it is not the only source of information your brain uses. The size of familiar objects provides important clues, as does the texture of surfaces and the clarity of details. When objects appear hazy or less distinct, your mind interprets them as farther away. Sound also contributes with echoes and volume changes, helping refine your sense of space. Even the position of your body influences distance perception. Slight tilts of the head or subtle shifts in posture adjust the angles through which you perceive the world. Movement offers another vital cue. As you walk, nearby objects seem to shift position more quickly than those farther away, providing depth information your brain constantly processes. All of these signals work together to create an accurate understanding of distance, revealing that perception is a rich blend rather than a single channel. Familiar voices are recognized more quickly than unfamiliar ones. The human brain devotes special attention to voices it knows well. When you hear someone familiar speak, even a single syllable can be enough to identify them. This rapid recognition occurs because the mind stores detailed patterns linked to the pitch, rhythm, and tone of important voices. These patterns become deeply ingrained through repeated exposure. When you hear an unfamiliar voice, the brain must analyze it from scratch, considering far more possibilities. Familiarity streamlines this process, allowing you to interpret emotion, intention, or urgency almost instantly. This recognition remains strong even across great distances, through muffled sound or amid background noise. It reflects the social nature of human perception, where the voices of trusted individuals hold special meaning. The brain treats them as anchors in a complex world of sound, allowing you to locate others, feel connected, and navigate conversation effortlessly. Expecting pain can intensify it. Pain is not only a response to injury, it is also shaped by anticipation. When you expect something to hurt, the brain heightens sensitivity in the affected area, preparing the body for potential damage. This preparation can amplify sensations that might otherwise be mild. The nervous system becomes more alert, and muscles may tense subconsciously, adding to the discomfort. Even temperature and pressure can seem sharper when expectation primes your senses. The opposite is also true. When you expect little pain, your brain can soften the sensation by reducing its attention to the signals arriving from the body. These effects reveal that pain is not solely determined by physical events. It is a complex experience built from interpretation, emotion, and memory. Expectation shapes the entire process, showing that the mind plays an active role in how the body feels. Your brain rewards the act of recognizing patterns. Each time you identify a pattern, whether in music, conversation, or the natural world, your brain releases subtle bursts of satisfaction. This reward encourages you to seek order in complexity. Mind finds meaning in chaos, helps you learn faster, anticipate events, and navigate social situations. When a song resolves a familiar melody, or when a puzzle begins to make sense, the feeling of clarity is not accidental. It is your brain reinforcing the discovery. Mind finds meaning in chaos also helps interpret language, allowing you to understand meaning even when words are partially obscured. In visual environments, it helps you locate important objects quickly by matching shapes or colors to expectations. This ability operates at many levels at once, from simple rhythm recognition to the complex understanding of behavior and intention. The pleasure that accompanies these discoveries reveals how essential mind finds meaning in chaos is to perception, learning, and daily life. You can hear your own name even within a noisy crowd. In loud environments, filled with overlapping voices and constant motion, the sound of your own name often breaks through with surprising clarity. This effect happens because the brain is trained to treat your name as a highly relevant signal. Even when your attention is fixed elsewhere, parts of your auditory system monitor background noise for familiar patterns. When your name appears, the brain boosts its importance, pulling your attention toward the source. This process works even when the name is spoken softly or from a distance. It reflects the priority your brain gives to personal relevance. The same mechanism helps you notice other important cues. such as the sound of a child you care for or the voice of someone significant to you. Perception is not passive. It is always listening for signals that matter, ready to shift your awareness in an instant. Time seems slower when boredom sets in. When you are deeply engaged, your mind processes information efficiently, and moments flow smoothly. During boredom, the opposite occurs. With little stimulation, your attention drifts inward, and every second becomes more noticeable. The brain checks the passage of time more frequently, making each moment feel stretched. Without fresh input to fill the mind, thoughts loop and wander, creating the impression of a slower flow. When you look back on a boring period, however, it often seems shorter than exciting events because fewer meaningful memories were created. This contrast shows how flexible time perception is. It depends on how much information the brain gathers and how meaningful that information feels. Time is not a fixed experience. It shifts depending on your level of engagement, creating a rhythm that mirrors your inner state. Silence can be mistaken for sound when you expect something. In moments when you anticipate a noise, the auditory system becomes more sensitive. This increased focus may lead the brain to perceive internal signals as external sounds. The subtle movement of air brushing against your ear, the delicate rhythm of your heartbeat, or the soft ringing that occasionally emerges in moments of silence can easily be confused with real sounds. The impact intensifies as emotional memory shapes your anticipation. As one waits for a distant voice, a footstep, or a signal, the mind becomes so attuned that even the faintest internal sensation can seem like a sign of affirmation. This phenomenon illustrates the seamless intertwining of anticipation and perception. Silence transforms into a canvas where the mind crafts its anticipations, converting internal feelings into external perceptions. The sensation of gravity is perceived through a complex network of delicate sensors located within the inner ear. Within the depths of the inner ear, one can find intricate structures filled with fluid, their surfaces adorned with delicate hair cells. These structures sense the force of gravity and the position of your head. Delicate crystals lie upon the surface of these sensors, subtly adjusting with each movement. As their position shifts, the hair cells bend and transmit signals that inform the brain about the body's orientation in space. This system operates continuously, assisting individuals in maintaining balance, moving gracefully, and discerning the correct orientation. When it is disrupted, one may experience dizziness or disorientation, as though the world has shifted on its axis. These sensors assist in synchronizing eye movement with head movement, ensuring that your vision remains steady even as you turn. The system exhibits remarkable precision, capable of detecting even the most subtle tilt or shift in acceleration. In its absence, each step would carry an air of uncertainty. With it, one's sense of gravity emerges as a subtly dependable compass. Even the slightest changes in facial expression are easily perceived. The human mind possesses an extraordinary sensitivity to even the subtlest shifts in another individual's expression. Small tweaks near the eyes, gentle raises at the mouth's edges, and nuanced shifts in stance all convey significance that you grasp in an instant. These signals journey along pathways crafted to identify emotion well ahead of any conscious evaluation. One can frequently perceive the nuances of another's emotions, be it uncertainty, amusement, or irritation, despite the absence of spoken words. The brain evaluates the present expression against a multitude of stored instances from previous encounters, creating an immediate grasp of mood or intention. This sensitivity contributes to the richness of communication. It enables individuals to understand each other beyond mere verbal communication. Even from a distance, or in low light, one might catch a fleeting glimpse of emotion that endures for just a moment. This understanding uncovers the profound social foundations of human thought. The brain has evolved to regard faces as a crucial source of information, endowing expression with a significance that surpasses nearly all other cues in influencing one's comprehension of others. Neutral events are imbued with emotional significance by the mind. The world comes without inherent emotional significance. Rather, situations are interpreted by the mind through the perspectives of memory, expectation, and inner state. A tranquil room can evoke a sense of serenity in moments of calm, while the same space may become disquieting in times of anxiety. A familiar melody can evoke joy on one day and stir nostalgia on another. Even neutral expressions or ordinary actions can acquire deeper significance based on the emotions you infuse into the moment. This process unfolds seamlessly as the mind seeks out patterns and meaning, drawing upon past experiences to shape perception. Emotion influences focus, directing your gaze to specific elements while permitting others to fade away. This leads to the possibility that two individuals may perceive the same event in entirely distinct manners. The event alone does not evoke emotion. It is the understanding. The mind weaves meaning into the world continuously, imbuing each moment with an emotional character that reflects a unique history. Straight lines take on varied appearances, influenced by the shapes that encircle them. The understanding of a straightforward line is deeply influenced by the surrounding context in which it is presented. When a straight line is positioned among angled shapes, it may be perceived by the mind as leaning, stretching, or bending, even though it stands perfectly upright. Adjacent curves can create an illusion of length or brevity. Patterns that repeat may lead to a shimmering or shifting effect in the line. The visual effects arise from the brain's tendency to perceive shapes in relation to one another rather than in isolation. It assesses them in relation to each other, employing context to discern depth, direction, and position. This relational processing enables a swift comprehension of intricate scenes, yet it simultaneously exposes you to the risk of illusions. The surrounding shapes exert such a strong influence on interpretation that one might be led to believe a line has altered, even in the face of knowledge that it remains unchanged. These distortions illustrate the way perception is constructed through comparison instead of relying on absolute measurement. The universe unfolds as a tapestry of connections, rather than a mere assortment of separate entities. In low-contrast environments, the brain tends to misjudge speed. As an object traverses a space characterized by minimal contrast, like a fog-laden landscape or a poorly illuminated room, the brain encounters a scarcity of distinct signals regarding its boundaries and location. In the absence of these cues, the mind is compelled to depend on more rudimentary signals to decipher motion. Consequently, the perception of movement might seem either more sluggish or swifter than reality suggests. A car navigating through the mist can give the impression of gliding softly, despite its rapid pace, while an individual traversing shadows might seem to speed up as their silhouette merges with the surroundings. The brain relies on distinct boundaries to gauge speed with precision, and when those boundaries blur, perception falters in its reliability. This phenomenon is more pronounced in peripheral vision, where the level of detail is inherently restricted. It illustrates the significant reliance of motion perception on contrast, clarity, and the availability of sharp information. As those elements diminish, the perception of speed transforms into something more abstract, influenced equally by the surrounding conditions and the essence of reality. One can feel the gaze of another person upon them. A sudden awareness often washes over many individuals when they feel someone's gaze upon them, even prior to establishing eye contact. This sensitivity emerges from the brain's remarkable ability to perceive subtle signals in posture, angle, and social presence. The mind persistently assesses the focus of others' attention, drawing from snippets of visual and auditory cues that might escape conscious awareness. Minor adjustments in body position or delicate variations in silence can heighten your awareness of another individual's attention. Humans developed within social groups where the understanding of attention played a crucial role in fostering cooperation, ensuring protection, and facilitating communication. This enduring system continues to function in the present, enabling one to sense the presence of an observer with remarkable precision. Even amidst a throng of people, one might sense a subtle tug of recognition directed at an individual whose gaze lingers upon them. It is not an extraordinary ability. It reflects a finely tuned perception, shaped by generations of social experience. The warmth that is imagined can evoke a genuine sensation of heat. The line separating imagination from sensation is more fluid than it appears. As one envisions a warm place or vividly contemplates the sensation of heat, the mind may evoke physical reactions that replicate the experience. The circulation to the skin may adjust slightly, muscles might ease, and the exterior of the body could feel a touch warmer. This occurs as imagery engages numerous pathways that are also utilized for real sensation. Athletes frequently employ this phenomenon during mental rehearsals, envisioning the warmth of movement to ready their bodies. In cold environments, individuals often envision fire or sunlight to alleviate their discomfort. Even memories of warmth, like cradling a hot drink or being close to a fire, can stir physical echoes of the initial sensation. These responses reveal that perception extends beyond the external realm. The internal states have the ability to profoundly influence sensory experiences, creating a haze between feelings and imagination. The perception of scale transforms as the reference points evolve. Objects take on different sizes based on their surroundings. An object of medium size, when positioned among smaller items, takes on a greater significance, whereas the same object, when encircled by larger forms, diminishes in perception. This evolving understanding shows that the mind perceives size in relation to other objects instead of in absolute terms. Even architectural spaces engage with this effect. A spacious room with lofty ceilings can evoke a sense of diminishment, whereas a slender corridor can amplify one's presence or feeling of importance. The impressions are further emphasized by distance, lighting, and shape. In the absence of reference points, like in a fog-laden scene, the ability to gauge scale becomes a challenging endeavor. A small hill can seem vast, while a large object might give the illusion of being nearer than it truly is. This adaptability holds significant importance. Through the lens of comparison, the mind navigates intricate environments with greater speed, though it may sometimes fall prey to illusions. Even when everything around you is perfectly still, your mind can still feel the soft whisper of movement inside. The sensation of movement may not necessarily stem from physical motion. At times, it arises from within, when the visual or auditory system picks up signals that imply movement, even as one stays still. Observing the clouds as they meander through the sky can evoke a feeling of lightness within oneself. As one train departs, the sensation of movement envelops you, creating an illusion of motion while you remain perfectly still. These sensations arise as the brain harmonizes visual cues with signals from the inner ear to uphold stability. When one signal indicates movement, while the other stays stationary, the mind faces the challenge of determining which to trust. At times, it selects the visual cue, crafting an illusion of motion. This internal negotiation unveils the intricate dance of perception as it navigates through conflicting information, ultimately selecting the interpretation that resonates with coherence. Though the body remains still, the mind can conjure a soft rhythm that seems vividly authentic. Imagined objects can seem to possess weight. As one envisions the act of holding or lifting an object, the muscles may instinctively respond, subtly adjusting as though bracing for the anticipated weight. The mind engages motor regions linked to actual actions, fostering an anticipation of resistance. Even in the absence of tangible touch, one might find their arms either tightening or loosening in response to the weight conjured in their mind. This technique is frequently employed in training or creative problem solving, as envisioning a movement can enhance the neural pathways linked to it. Musicians occasionally envision the heft of an instrument to practice their stance. Athletes envision the act of lifting or balancing objects as a means to hone their skills. The capacity to sense the weight of an absent object reveals the profound connection between perception and imagination. The brain engages in a practice of physical experience, mimicking the sensations that come with it, crafting a reflection of the genuine article that the body can still perceive. Even silence possesses a perceptual presence. Silence holds a depth that is far from vacant. The narrative possesses texture, depth, and character, influenced by both the environment and the inner state of the individual. In a quiet forest, one may sense a soft spaciousness filled with subtle natural rhythms. In a quiet room at night, the silence weighs heavily, as though the walls are pausing in anticipation. The subtle sounds of one's own body, like the rhythm of breathing or the steady beat of the heart, come into focus, creating a unique internal landscape within the silence. Expectation can also influence it. In moments of anticipation, the absence of sound creates a palpable tension, heightening one's awareness. In moments of calm, a soothing expanse unfolds. The interplay of silence and memory unfolds, imbued with the emotional echoes of bygone experiences. It transforms into a presence that occupies space instead of being an absence. The mind interprets it through sensation and expectation, shaping and imbuing it with meaning. Even in the absence of external sound, one can perceive the subtlety when another reflects their actions. As one engages with another individual, the mind remains vigilant, attuned to the nuanced signals of stance, timing, and cadence. When an individual reflects your gestures or movements, even subtly or unconsciously, your mind becomes aware of the harmony between you. This may evoke an unexpected sense of connection, comfort, or heightened awareness, influenced by the circumstances at hand. Humans possess an innate sensitivity to synchronized movement, as aligning actions once fostered collaboration, security, and interaction among early communities. Even today, one might sense a deeper connection with someone who walks in sync with their rhythm or instinctively mirrors their gestures in conversation. Though you may not be aware of it, the resemblance is captured by your mind, which perceives it as a signal of shared comprehension. This heightened sensitivity emerges during emotionally charged or significant interactions, as the mirroring transforms into a subtle dialogue beneath the surface of spoken language. One's recognition of these patterns reveals the profound connection between movement and social perception. Even simple shifts of hands or shoulders convey information that the mind recognizes effortlessly, enhancing the sense of connection with others. The brain frequently perceives randomness as having significance. The mind seeks to uncover patterns within the world around it. When confronted with randomness, it frequently identifies patterns that do not truly exist. This inclination emerges from the fundamental necessity of recognizing authentic patterns for the sake of survival. Consequently, the brain tends to perceive random events as linked, even when their occurrence is purely coincidental. One might observe shapes in clouds, hold the belief that coincidences bear concealed messages, or recognize recurring numbers in the fabric of daily existence. These perceptions hold significance as the brain bestows a sense of clarity upon the recognition of patterns. Even abstract images or irregular sounds can appear structured when the mind endeavors to comprehend them. This impulse is a strength. It showcases the extraordinary capacity of the mind to discern patterns amidst chaos. However, this also implies that what seems random may easily be perceived as intentional. The realm is infused with bonds that seem genuine, emerging from the intellect's yearning for comprehension rather than from the occurrences themselves. Illusions by themselves can evoke intense feelings. An illusion, whether visual or auditory, can evoke genuine emotions, even when one knows intellectually that it is not real. Gentle forms that seem to throb can evoke a sense of thrill or intrigue. Images that appear to advance toward you can create a moment of suspense. Sounds that appear to transform in unimaginable manners evoke feelings of wonder or discomfort. These reactions arise as illusions engage the identical perceptual pathways that are employed to make sense of actual occurrences. Upon receiving signals that echo something significant, the brain reacts as though the scenario were genuine. Even once the trick is recognized, the emotional state may require additional time to find its equilibrium. This illustrates that emotions emerge not from rational assessment, but from swift, instinctive interpretation. Illusions unveil the intricate relationship that exists between how we perceive and how we feel. It is shown how effortlessly the mind can be swayed by a scene that resides only in its own interpretation, rather than in the reality outside. Your skin senses much more than mere contact. Underneath the skin's exterior exists an intricate system of receptors, attuned to pressure, temperature, stretch, vibration, and subtle shifts in airflow. The receptors continuously transmit information, which the brain utilizes to comprehend the world around it. A gentle breeze caressing your arm might indicate the presence of an open window close by. The gentle touch of sunlight can illuminate the path ahead. Even subtle variations in humidity can be sensed upon your skin. Certain receptors react to motion across the surface, aiding in the detection of crawling insects or the movement of shifting fabrics. Others perceive a profound pressure, enhancing your awareness of posture and touch. Everything unfolds effortlessly, weaving together a complex tapestry of the environment around you. The skin serves more than just as a barrier. It serves as a perceptual organ, adept at sensing intricacies that extend well beyond mere touch. The signals intertwine with sight, sound, and movement, ensuring you remain aware of the environment surrounding you. A fleeting look can transform the significance of a noise. Upon encountering ambiguity, the visual system intervenes to steer the process of interpretation. A fleeting glance at an individual's expression during their speech can transform the perception of their message. A fleeting look at an object that produces sound can transform your perception of what that sound signifies. Vision enriches understanding, modifying the nuances of pitch, rhythm, and tone in your experience. Even when the sound remains the same, observing the movements of someone's lips or hands can alter your interpretation of the audio. This occurs as the mind seeks to construct a unified understanding of reality. When visual information implies one interpretation, while sound indicates another, the brain merges them into a unified understanding. This bending may not always be precise, yet it proves to be effective. It uncovers the intricate interplay of the senses and highlights the significant impact of vision on auditory perception. A fleeting look can shift a noise from perplexing to understandable. Temperature can be misunderstood based solely on one's expectations. When one anticipates a sensation of warmth or coolness, the mind might alter its perception prior to the true temperature making contact with the skin. A room adorned in warm hues can create an atmosphere that feels a touch cozier. A drink in a frosted glass presents an impression of chill before the first sip is taken. Even the mere thought of warmth can evoke a subtle feeling of heat throughout the body. This phenomenon occurs as the brain employs anticipation to ready itself for sensory information. When the anticipated temperature diverges from what is actually experienced, it can lead to a moment filled with confusion or unexpectedness. Certain experiments reveal that identical objects may be perceived as warmer or cooler, influenced entirely by suggestion or context. These experiences reveal that the perception of temperature extends beyond mere skin sensation. It is shaped by conviction, feeling, and recollection. The mind intertwines external signals with internal expectations, crafting a perception that seems genuine even when the physical stimulus remains the same. The shapes that surround an object can alter its perceived size. When an object is positioned close to larger forms, it frequently appears diminished. When it finds itself among smaller forms, it takes on an impression of greater size. This distortion occurs as the brain assesses size in relation to surrounding shapes, using them as a point of reference. Even simple patterns, like circles placed in various arrangements, can evoke unexpected illusions. An object of medium size, when positioned amidst larger forms, appears to lose its significance. However, when it finds itself among smaller shapes, it acquires a newfound prominence. The interplay of lighting, spacing, and texture enhances this effect, shaping the context that guides your brain's interpretation of size. This relational perception enables swift judgments of object scale within intricate surroundings. It enables one to grasp the concept of size, even from afar or in unfamiliar environments. Yet, this also implies that size is always perceived in relation to something else. It is consistently influenced by its environment. Visual flashes possess the ability to convey a rhythmic essence. Even without sound, the brain has the remarkable ability to arrange visual events into rhythmic patterns. As the lights flicker in a rhythmic pattern, the mind instinctively organizes them into a sequence of beats. These visual pulses evoke a sensation akin to music, even in the absence of sound. The internal timing systems that coordinate movement and expectation respond to the patterns in the flashes, fostering a sense of tempo. This skill enables one to foresee movement and align actions, like catching a ball or tracking the motion of another individual. The structure of the flashes gives rise to a rhythm, as the mind seeks a timing that feels both balanced and predictable. This phenomenon reveals that rhythm extends beyond the confines of the auditory realm. The brain fundamentally organizes sequences, whether they manifest as vibrations, movements, or fleeting bursts of light. Perceived dangers can elicit genuine physical reactions. When one contemplates something terrifying, their body might respond as though the threat were genuinely there. The heart rate might rise, breathing could alter, and muscles may become tense. The brain elicits these responses as it engages the same internal pathways for simulating imagined scenarios as it does for processing actual experiences. The emotional centers, tasked with safeguarding us, often struggle to differentiate between what is merely thought and what is real. When the perceived danger appears strikingly real, the body gets ready to respond. This reaction is an integral part of the innate survival mechanism that historically enabled humans to react swiftly to threats. In the present moment, it may emerge amidst feelings of concern, recollection, or expectation. It uncovers that understanding transcends mere sensory experiences. The imagination has the power to engage the same pathways of preparedness, shaping internal experiences alongside the body's inherent safeguards. Your mind has this beautiful, quiet gift of gently turning chaos into something that feels full of meaning and comfort. Upon encountering a chaotic mix of shapes, sounds, or ideas, the mind instinctively sets to work, arranging them into a coherent structure. It seeks out patterns, relationships, or implications that bring order to the chaos. A series of seemingly random marks might start to coalesce into a recognizable image. A disjointed collection of sounds might evoke a sense of rhythm. Even seemingly random events in daily life can take on a sense of connection through the lens of interpretation. This process unfolds seamlessly as the brain naturally gravitates towards coherence. It searches for structure amidst chaos, significance within intricacy, and a storyline woven through unpredictability. This inclination enables a swift grasp of the world, even amidst incomplete information. However, it also implies that significance can emerge in the absence of any. The mind weaves together disparate elements, harmonizes fragments, and molds perceptions into narratives that resonate deeply. Disorder transforms into clarity, not due to any alteration in its essence, but because your mind has intricately connected strands of significance within it. As thoughts settle and the night deepens, one may sense the soft reverberation of all that was uncovered. The mind unfolds like a vast landscape, continuously intertwining sensation with meaning, perpetually discovering beauty in the tiniest details. Even now, as the eyes grow heavy, the senses continue to soften the world around, shaping each moment into something calm and comforting. If this gentle journey resonated with you, consider liking, subscribing, or sharing your thoughts below. It guides others as they navigate their path, progressing gently through the tranquility, one drowsy spirit at a time. A quiet video will always be there, patiently awaiting your return, prepared to lead you further into tranquility. In this moment, one might find their breath easing, the day fading into the background, as the stillness guides them gently into a state of tranquility. Thank you for joining Sleep Science Top 1 tonight. This is a scientific moment you can return to whenever you need peace. If you found it relaxing, please like, subscribe, and leave a little something you noticed today. Good night. I'll be waiting for you next night.